The 10 most beautiful running trails in the world. From Jeju to Patagonia. Welcome to the art of movement. Tonight, we take you to the 10 most beautiful running trails on Earth. Not the fastest routes, not the most famous races, but the trails where every step is a conversation between your body and the landscape. Running is the oldest sport in human history. 2 million years ago, our ancestors ran across the African savanna, not for medals, but for survival. Today, we run for something deeper. We run to feel alive, to silence the noise, to remember that the human body is the most extraordinary machine ever created. And when you run through beauty, something transforms. The trail becomes a cathedral. The breath becomes a prayer. These 10 trails will change how you see running forever.
Number 10. The Jeju Trail in South Korea. 425 kilometers of coastal paths that wind around the volcanic island of Jeju. The word all means a narrow path connecting your house to the main road in the Jeju dialect. Created in 2007 by journalist Seo Myung-suk, who walked the Camino de Santiago and returned home dreaming of a Korean equivalent. 27 routes trace the island's coastline, passing through tangerine orchards, black lava fields, and fishing villages where Haenyeo, the legendary women divers, still harvest the sea. The air smells of salt and rapeseed flowers. The path rises to volcanic craters and descends to hidden beaches of black sand. In spring, the entire island blooms in yellow and pink. Every runner who completes the all says the same thing. They came for the scenery and stayed for the silence.
Number 9. The Cinque Terre Trail on the Italian Riviera. 5 ancient fishing villages clinging to cliffs above the Ligurian Sea, connected by paths that have existed since the Middle Ages. The Sentiero Azzurro, the Blue Trail, runs 12 kilometers along the coast, but the real magic is in the high trails above. The Sentiero Rosso climbs to 600 meters, offering views that have made poets weep since Dante walked these hills. Terraced vineyards of Cyacatra grapes cascade down impossible slopes. Stone walls built by hand over centuries hold the earth in place. You run past lemon groves and olive trees, through tunnels of wild rosemary, and at every turn the sea appears again, impossibly blue, impossibly beautiful. The villages themselves are painted in coral, ochre, and seafoam green. Running here feels like running through a living watercolor.
Number 8. The Kumano Kodo in Japan. A network of ancient pilgrimage trails through the mountains of the Kii Peninsula, recognized alongside the Camino de Santiago as one of only 2 UNESCO World Heritage pilgrimage routes. These paths have been walked for over 1,000 years. Emperors and peasants alike made the journey to the 3 grand shrines of Kumano. The trails pass through forests of ancient cedar and cypress, some trees over 800 years old. Moss covers every stone. Mist hangs between the branches like silk. The Japanese call this Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing, and science has confirmed what pilgrims knew for centuries. These forests lower cortisol, reduce blood pressure, and boost immune function. Running the Kumano Kodo is not exercise. It is medicine. The stone steps, worn smooth by 1,000,000 feet before yours, carry you not just through the forest but through time itself.
Number 7.
The Tour du Mont Blanc.
170 kilometers around the highest peak in Western Europe, passing through France, Italy, and Switzerland. This is the trail that changes runners into mountaineers. You begin in Chamonix, looking up at glaciers that have carved these valleys for 10,000 years. Each day brings a new country, a new language, a new cuisine. French cheese in mountain refuges. Italian espresso in Val Ferret. Swiss chocolate in Champex. The trail climbs to 2,500 meters, crossing passes where the wind sounds like an orchestra. Below you, meadows of wildflowers stretch to the horizon. Above you, the snow line glitters in the alpine sun. Marmots whistle from the rocks. Eagles circle overhead. The Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc race covers the entire circuit in a single push. But the wise runner takes 7 to 11 days, sleeping in mountain huts, waking to sunrises that no photograph can capture.
Number 6. The Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. 43 kilometers of ancient stone paths built 500 years ago by the Inca Empire, climbing to 4,200 meters at Dead Woman's Pass before descending through cloud forests to the Sun Gate, where Machu Picchu appears below you like a dream. The Inca were extraordinary engineers. Their trails were paved with granite blocks, fitted so precisely that 5 centuries of rain and earthquakes have not dislodged them. You run past ruins of way stations where Inca messengers, the Chasquis, once rested. These runners could cover 240 kilometers in a single day, carrying messages across the empire in a relay system faster than the Roman postal service. The altitude steals your breath. The beauty gives it back. When you finally reach the Sun Gate at dawn and see Machu Picchu floating in the mist below, you understand why the Incas called this place the navel of the world.
Number 5. The Norwegian Fjord Trail. From Stavanger to Bergen, 300 kilometers of trails that trace the edges of the deepest fjords in Europe. Sonafjorden plunges 1,200 meters below sea level. The cliffs rise 1,000 meters above. You run between these vertical walls of ancient rock, watching waterfalls cascade from heights so great that the water turns to mist before it reaches the bottom. In June, the midnight sun never sets. You can run at 2 in the morning under a sky that glows amber and pink. In September, the northern lights dance above the fjords in green and violet curtains. The famous Trolltunga, Troll's Tongue, juts out over a 700-meter drop. Runners who reach it stand on the edge of the world. Below, the lake reflects the sky. Above, nothing but space and silence. Norway reminds you that the earth itself is the greatest work of art.
Number 4. The Patagonia Circuit in Torres del Paine National Park. 130 kilometers around granite towers that rise like cathedrals from the southern ice field. This is the end of the world. Beyond these mountains, there is nothing but ocean until Antarctica. The wind here can reach 150 kilometers per hour. It will knock you off your feet. It will steal your hat and your breath and your certainty that you are in control. But then the wind pauses. The clouds part. And you see the Torres, 3 granite spires lit by sunrise in colors that have no name, pink and gold and burning orange against a sky so blue it hurts. Glaciers carve icebergs into turquoise lakes. Guanacos, the wild cousins of the llama, watch you from the hillsides with ancient, patient eyes. Condors ride the thermals above. Patagonia teaches every runner the same lesson: you are small. The world is vast. And that is the most beautiful thing.
Number 3. The Eiger Trail in the Bernese Oberland, Switzerland. Only 6 kilometers long, but every meter is a masterpiece. You run directly beneath the north face of the Eiger, the most infamous wall in mountaineering history. 1,800 meters of vertical limestone and ice that has claimed the lives of 64 climbers since 1935. The trail itself is gentle, a panoramic path at 2,300 meters. But the proximity to the wall creates a feeling unlike anything else in running. You can hear rockfall echoing above. You can see the ice glistening in the couloirs where climbers spent terrifying nights. Across the valley, the Jungfrau and the Monch stand in perfect symmetry. Below, the village of Grindelwald looks like a model train set. Cowbells ring from alpine meadows. The air is so clean it tastes like cold water. Switzerland does not just show you mountains. It shows you what perfection looks like. And number 1. The Sentiero degli Dei, the Path of the Gods, on Italy's Amalfi coast. Only 8 kilometers from Bamarano to Nocelle, but these 8 kilometers contain more beauty per step than any other trail on Earth. You run 600 meters above the Mediterranean, along a path carved into the cliffs by shepherds centuries ago. Below you, Positano cascades down to the sea in a waterfall of pink and white houses. Capri floats on the horizon like a dream. Lemon groves hang from impossible terraces. The scent of wild oregano and sea salt fills every breath. The Romans called this coast the gift of the gods. They were right. As you run the final descent into Nocelle, the sunset turns the entire coast to gold. The sea burns amber. The cliffs glow rose. And you understand why this trail is called the Path of the Gods. Because when you run here, you are not running through a landscape. You are running through a painting. This has been The Art of Movement by Anima. The journey will continue. Until next time. The Art of Movement by Anima. The journey will continue.